The entertainment world is buzzing tonight as Coldplay's frontman Chris Martin finally breaks his silence in an exclusive interview. Not about his music, not about the band's next world tour, but about something far more personal: his future plans with actress Dakota Johnson. For years, fans and the media have speculated about where this relationship is heading, and now Chris himself has given us the clearest picture yet. Stay tuned, because the details revealed in this interview may change everything you thought you knew about one of Hollywood's most private couples. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this story, share your thoughts in the comments, and keep watching until the very end, because Chris's words may just shock you. Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson's romance has always fascinated the public. He is the poetic voice behind Coldplay, a band whose music has defined an era, while she is the Hollywood starlet known for her raw performances and quiet strength. Since they were first spotted together in 2017, their relationship has been the subject of countless headlines: dinner dates in Los Angeles, cozy weekends in the Hamptons, Dakota attending Coldplay concerts around the globe. Yet, through it all, both remained silent, never feeding the frenzy with public statements. That silence has only fueled more speculation. Is this casual, or is it serious? And now, at last, we have answers that I end the exclusive sit-down. Chris's demeanor shifted when Dakota's name came up. Gone was the quick wit of a rock star, replaced with something more grounded, more vulnerable. "She's incredible," he said softly. "When you're with someone who sees you beyond the stage, beyond the cameras, it changes everything. She's that person for me." Those words alone sent shockwaves through the room. But Chris didn't stop there. He admitted that he and Dakota have had serious conversations about the future. "We talk about what's next," he revealed. "We talk about building a life together that feels authentic. We're not in a rush, but we're intentional." That single word, intentional, was enough to ignite speculation around the world. Intentional means deliberate, thoughtful, planned. Could this be the closest Chris Martin has ever come to confirming marriage plans? Midway through the interview, the energy shifted again. Cameras zoomed in tighter, voices dropped lower. Chris revealed something few fans knew: Dakota's influence extends beyond his personal life and into his music. "She inspires me," he admitted. "Sometimes when I'm writing, she'll say something that completely changes the song. You'd be surprised how much of her spirit is already in the music." He didn't name titles, but the confession has fans re-listening to Coldplay tracks, wondering which lyrics may secretly carry Dakota's fingerprints. The climax came when Chris was asked directly about marriage. For years, rumors have swirled. Photos of Dakota wearing a mysterious ring, whispers of secret engagements, anonymous sources claiming to know more. But Chris has always dodged the question. This time, however, he leaned forward and delivered an answer that felt both personal and final. "I don't want my private life to be a spectacle," he said firmly. "But what I can say is that with Dakota, I've found something lasting. Something that feels like home. If marriage is part of that, then it's something I'd be honored to share with her." With those words, the internet erupted. Within minutes, hashtags related to Chris and Dakota began trending worldwide. Fans flooded social media with support, calling them Hollywood's most genuine couple. "They're proof that real love exists even under the spotlight," one fan tweeted. Another wrote, "Chris talking about Dakota this way makes my heart melt. They deserve all the happiness in the world." Of course, not everyone interpreted the statement the same way. Some believe Chris all but confirmed an engagement is imminent, while others think the couple will continue down their own private path, free from Hollywood's timeline. But one thing is certain: the mystery is over. This isn't a fling. It isn't tabloid fantasy. It's real, and it's intentional. The interview ended on a lighter note, with Chris laughing when asked how he manages to balance global fame with personal happiness. "Dakota makes it easier," he said with a smile. "She makes me better. And that's all anyone could ask for." And just like that, Chris Martin managed to do what few celebrities have achieved. He gave fans an intimate look into his private world without turning it into a spectacle. A simple, heartfelt declaration. Love is real, and Dakota Johnson is at the center of it. So now the question is, what comes next? Will we soon hear wedding bells for Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson? Or will they continue to walk their own path quietly on their own terms? Whatever the answer, one thing is undeniable. This interview has changed the narrative. For years, their romance was whispered about in shadows. Tonight, it's out in the open, and the world is watching. Now, over to you. What do you think of Chris Martin's revelations? Do you believe marriage is right around the corner, or do you think the couple will keep their private life under wraps? Share your thoughts in the comments, spread this story with fellow fans, and make sure you stay tuned for more exclusive updates on Hollywood's most captivating love story. Because if Chris Martin's words mean anything, the next chapter in his life with Dakota Johnson is only just beginning. Long before this revealing interview, the story of Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson had already captured headlines and stirred endless fascination. Their first public connection dates back to late 2017, when eagle-eyed fans noticed the two sharing a quiet dinner in Los Angeles. At the time, many dismissed it as just another celebrity outing. But weeks later, more sightings followed. Walks along the beach, cozy moments at cafes, and eventually, Dakota's presence at Coldplay's concerts. Suddenly, whispers turned into waves of speculation. Was this Hollywood's newest power couple? As the months passed, the sightings became harder to ignore. In 2018, Dakota was seen at Coldplay's shows across different continents, often standing quietly at the side of the stage. Fans noted the way Chris would glance in her direction mid-performance, as though pulling energy from her presence. The rumors gained momentum when Dakota was spotted with Chris's children, Apple and Moses, whom he shares with ex-wife Gwyneth Paltrow. For many observers, that moment marked a turning point. It was no longer casual. This was a relationship that touched every part of Chris's life. The media, of course, was relentless. Tabloids ran stories with bold headlines, speculating on engagements, secret weddings, even pregnancy rumors. Yet, through it all, Chris and Dakota maintained a wall of silence. They were often photographed together, hand in hand, enjoying vacations or strolling in London, but neither confirmed nor denied the status of their romance. That silence became its own strategy. While other celebrity couples often burned bright and faded quickly under the spotlight, Chris and Dakota chose something different: privacy as a shield, intimacy as a choice. Still, the scrutiny didn't end. By 2019, fans noticed Dakota had become a fixture at many of Chris's public events, and in return, Chris began appearing at red carpet moments tied to Dakota's career. One of the most talked about instances was when Dakota attended a Coldplay performance where Chris openly dedicated a song to her, subtly but powerfully acknowledging her importance. Though he didn't mention her name, the audience, and the internet was quick to connect the dots. Even Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris's ex-wife, added to the intrigue. In interviews, she spoke warmly of Dakota, calling her a wonderful person and expressing gratitude that her children had someone kind and supportive in their lives. That rare endorsement added legitimacy to the relationship, proving that Chris and Dakota's bond was not only serious, but also embraced by those closest to him. Few Hollywood love stories received such acceptance, and it became yet another reason why their romance drew so much attention. Yet, despite the outside noise, Dakota herself remained consistently reserved. Known for shying away from the press when it comes to her personal life, she rarely addressed her relationship publicly. When asked in interviews, she would smile politely and change the subject. That quiet dignity only deepened the mystery, creating a sharp contrast with Hollywood's tendency to overshare. It's this balance of public allure and private restraint that has made the Martin Johnson pairing one of the most enduring stories in entertainment. Now, with Chris Martin finally opening up in his exclusive interview, all those years of quiet speculation seem to have led to this moment. Fans are finally hearing, in his own words, how deeply committed he feels. His acknowledgement of intentionality in their relationship isn't just a throwaway comment. It's confirmation of what many suspected but never dared to say out loud. This is a love story with depth, longevity, and purpose. The impact of Chris's confession reaches beyond tabloid headlines. For Coldplay fans, it provides new insight into the music they love. Could Dakota's influence be hidden in lyrics from the past few albums? Songs like My Universe and Let Somebody Go have already been linked by fans to themes of enduring love and personal struggle. Now, listeners are revisiting those tracks, wondering if they carry echoes of Dakota's presence in Chris's creative life. For Hollywood watchers, this is also a rare example of a couple navigating fame differently. At a time when relationships often play out like public soap operas, Chris and Dakota have shown that love doesn't need constant exposure to thrive. In fact, their discretion may be the very reason they've lasted this long. By choosing not to perform their relationship for the cameras, they've managed to keep something sacred between them, something that allows them to grow without outside pressure. As The World digests Chris Martin's words, one question looms larger than ever. What comes next? Will there be an engagement announcement? Will Dakota and Chris walk down the aisle in a quiet ceremony far from Hollywood's flashing lights? Or will they continue their pattern of surprising the public with glimpses, never giving away the full story until the time feels right? One thing is undeniable. This interview marks a pivotal chapter in their journey. It's not just about confirming a relationship, it's about redefining how love can exist under fame's harsh glare. By admitting his intentions, Chris Martin has given fans something they've long hoped for. Proof that what they've been watching unfold for years isn't just speculation, but a true, lasting partnership. And with Dakota Johnson by his side, that story is only beginning.